What's up, gamers, and welcome to World of Warcraft, my favorite MMO, a game that's taken way too many hours out of my life, and an MMO with many different story topics like war and racism. Now, with all that amazing story in mind, I've decided to grind for something even more important than the lore of this game: the collections. That includes things like mounts, pets, transmogs, all of the coolest items that you could ever want in an MMO. 906 obtainable mounts, 1700 different companion pets, and way too many transmogs. Just about 78,000 according to Wowhead. My goal in this ever-growing series will be to get as many of these collection items as possible. I don't think I will realistically be able to get all of them, especially because of the insane number of transmogs, but I will be grinding as many as possible and cataloging them all here for you to see. I will be starting this journey with just a few collection items. I know I have about 13 mounts. I don't know about pets and transmogs, but it's gonna take a while, so let's get right into it. The first mounts obtained in my quest for collection items were the proto-drakes that you get for the Glory of the Ulduar Raider achievement. These include the beautifully pristine ironbound proto-drake and his slightly uglier cousin, the rusted proto-drake. Two very beautiful and very memorable mounts. I have some footage in the background from the second session of me and two friends farming for this mount. During this session, we only needed 2 achievements left: Iron Dwarf Medium Rare, and I Choose You Steelbreaker. Unfortunately, I may have accidentally killed Razorscale our first time through before they were able to roast up enough Iron Dwarfs for the achievement. These 2 mounts are some of my favorite from classic era World of Warcraft. The contrasting blue tones of the Ironbound Drake and the red-orange tones of the Rusted Drake make these mounts perfect to match plenty of outfits. Plus, they just look so cool on their own. I can't wait to be able to use them with a new enhanced flying system that's coming in the War Within. I would like to quickly give a huge thanks to 2 of my friends, Averberon and Old Man Gankins, for running through a lot of this grind with me. They are very close friends of mine that I think you should totally check out in the description below. So the next mount I was able to obtain was the Caldore Nightsaber. I obtained this mount completely at random as I was just running through Darkshore until I got notified of a rarity tracked mob, not even realizing that it was an enemy with a mount drop. The footage in the background is of me actually obtaining the mount. I just so happened to be recording because when I got it I was just waiting for some friends to get on to dungeon run with. As you can tell, I was shocked to see that I had managed to get a mount drop without knowing that I had even the slightest chance to get one. As for the mount itself, it really isn't anything special. Just a simple 5% chance Nightsaber mount with a purple and blue coat. Although it's fairly simple, the dark purple coat works well to blend with many good looking transmogs. All in all, a pretty decent mount. Although in terms of usability, because it is a ground mount, I don't find myself using it very often, as I have other ground mounts that I feel are more unique. As you can see from the footage here, I forgot to actually record myself getting this mount. The footage ended up corrupting, so this is from a little after I unlocked it. The Corrupted Firehawk is the mount you obtain for completing the Glory of the Firelands Raider achievement, and this is by far one of my favorite mounts in the game. It is a pretty simple mount, all things considered, just a purple palette swap of the Pureblood Firehawk mount dropped by Ragnaros. The Corrupted Firehawk is a mount that is very easy to match with many different sets, as the purple color matches nicely with many other colors people could want to use for their transmogs. Plus, because this is a flying mount, it is a good mount to use on a regular basis, and it will be receiving the enhanced flying update with the War Within expansion. The only complaint I have about this mount is the achievement Only the Penitent, which requires you to activate both of Fandrel's flames at the same time without a single person being hit by Kneel to the Flame. This achievement isn't necessarily hard with a coordinated duo and the right setup, but that doesn't make it any less tedious. It requires you to go into the Staghelm boss fight and actually type /Kneel in the chat before the spell goes off, continuing to do this until both people make it to the big fiery orbs on the side and activate them. Other than this one gripe, I generally enjoy the raid and I really enjoy the mount, honestly one of the best in my opinion. The last mount I will go over in this video is the Amber Primordial Direhorn. This is another random drop chance mount, although this time I was actively looking for it. I have been spending a lot of my time on World of Warcraft farming for many of the Mists of Pandaria mounts, as they are some of the coolest mounts in the game. And unfortunately, this is the only one that I have managed to get so far. There are a total of 5 Primordial Direhorn mounts, although 2 of them are drops from elite enemies, the Cobalt from Undasta and the Spawn of Horadon from Horadon. The other 3, the Amber, Jade, and Slate Direhorns, are a 5% chance drop from the Zandalari Warbringers found around Pandaria. This mount shares the same issue as the Kaldore Nightsaber, that being it is a ground mount, and unfortunately it doesn't really look or feel special enough to use over other ground mounts that you could obtain just as easily. With that being said, however, that doesn't mean the mount is necessarily bad. I definitely think it is my least favorite out of the 4 I brought up in this video, but I do think it still has a place with certain outfits, and I think, especially if you get the Jade Direhorn, my personal favorite of the few, you can make some really cool looking sets with this mount. I just quickly want to thank you all for watching this video. This video was planned for about 1 to 2 weeks ago, but with college starting back up and simply getting a little too lazy, it took a bit longer than I would have liked. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed, as it was still very enjoyable to make. This was my first time trying to do a video of any sort of production value or script. Definitely please give me some feedback on things I could improve. Now, that's really it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and expect to see some more videos coming soon.